books. Instead, they've picked up shovels and wheelbarrows. They're not doing this for money. They're not doing it to become famous. They're doing it because they really, really love their country. This isn't a made-up story from a movie. It's real. These women are regular mums, grandmas, students and farmers. They've decided to change their country, little by little, with their own hands. It's like a quiet revolution, a movement full of hope, and it teaches the whole world a big lesson about how to build up a country. Burkina Faso is a country that many people outside of Africa might not know much about. It's a landlocked country, meaning it has no ocean, and it's surrounded by 6 other countries. It has dusty roads, bright red dirt, and a hot sun that shines almost every day. For many years, people called Burkina Faso one of the poorest countries. But today, something truly special is happening there. The women of Burkina Faso are showing everyone that being poor doesn't define a country. What really matters is its people. These women are mixing cement, carrying heavy stones and smoothing out dirt to build roads, schools and ways to stop floods. They are not sitting around waiting for outside help. They are doing it themselves, and they are doing it for free. This is a story about bravery, working together, and deep love for a country that simply won't give up. To understand why 20,000 women are helping to build their country for free, we need to know what Burkina Faso has been through. The country has faced huge problems, scary attacks from bad groups, terrorism, a lot of poverty, and leftover issues from when other countries ruled them, colonialism. For a long time, Burkina Faso had a hard time standing on its own 2 feet. Countries like France used to control them, and they left behind systems that made it hard for Burkina Faso to become strong. Even after they became independent in 1960, they had many sudden changes in government and attacks from bad groups that made life dangerous for many people. Right now, a young leader named Captain Ibrahim Traoré is in charge. He took over in 2022. He's different from many leaders before him. He doesn't want his country to rely on money or loans from other countries that come with lots of rules. Instead, he's asking the people of Burkina Faso to believe in themselves. He's asking everyone to help build the country, saying, "We will build this country with our own hands." And the women of Burkina Faso heard him loud and clear. They didn't just listen, they started working. When you hear about 20,000 women helping to build a country, you might think they are trained engineers or professional builders. But that's not right. These women come from all kinds of jobs and lives. Some sell vegetables like tomatoes and okra in the market during the day. Others are nurses who work long hours in hospitals. There are students who dream of becoming teachers or doctors, and grandmothers who have raised their own families and now want to help raise their nation. These women are not rich or famous. They are everyday people with very special giving hearts. Think about Mariam Cabaret, for example. She's 39 years old and has 5 children. She lives in a town called Wahiguoya. During the day, she sells things in the market. But early in the morning, she's at a building site helping to build a road. "We are not just women," Mariam says with a happy smile. "We are fighters. I don't need to be paid. My payment is knowing my children can walk to school safely." Then there's Asata, a 24-year-old student who stopped her studies for a while to help. She says, "If our president can risk his life for our future, I can give my time to build roads." And there's Yvette, a 62-year-old grandma who carries bricks with pride. "I'm too old to fight with guns," she laughs, "but I'm not too old to fight with my hands." These women are not alone. All over Burkina Faso, from the dusty roads of Kais to the farms of Banfora, thousands of women are joining hands. They come from small villages and big cities, from poor families and small homes. They are all working together for one thing, a dream to make their country better. They are not just building roads or schools, they are building hope. What's it like to be one of these women? Let's imagine a day in their lives. It starts very early, before the sun comes up, around 4:30 in the morning. The air is still cool, and you can still see the stars. The women wake up, wrap colorful cloths around their heads, and make a simple breakfast of millet porridge. They get their tools, shovels, buckets, and gloves, and meet up at a special spot. Many of them walk miles to get to where they're building, singing songs to keep their spirits up. "We walk in the dark," one woman says. "We sing so we're not scared." When they get to the site, the hard work begins. There are no big machines, no fancy tools. Everything is done by hand. Some women carry stones from nearby hills, balancing them on their heads. Others mix cement in shallow holes, using their feet to stir it. Some line up gravel and bricks neatly for the people who will build with them later. A few women stand guard to make sure no one takes the tools at night. The air is full of dust, sweat, and the sound of laughter. The women sing as they work, tell jokes and help each other. It's tough work, but their spirits are strong. Around noon, they stop for lunch. There's no restaurant or food bought from a store. Instead, the women cook together. They bring large iron pots and make a thick porridge made from millet or maize, served with a sauce from special leaves or okra. Sometimes they add dried fish or peanuts if someone gives them. Every woman helps, even if it's just a little bit of grain. They eat together, sharing everything. No one eats alone, and no one eats first. This feeling of being together fills their hearts as much as the food fills their bellies. After lunch, they rest for a short time under a shady tree. One woman, Combizeri, explains, "This is not slavery. This is what we choose to do. Our bodies might be tired, but our spirits are strong." By 2 p.m. they're back to work, even as the sun beats down hot. Children sometimes join them after school, helping to sweep or carry small buckets. Men from the community often come in the evening to help lift heavier things. It's a team effort, a shared dream. By 7 p.m., the day's work is done. The women gather in a circle, pray, and dance. They raise their hands and shout, "Burkina Faso Koto," which means Burkina Faso rise up. Then they walk home, some in sandals, some with bare feet, but always together. These women are not just moving dirt or stacking bricks. They are building things that really change people's lives. Let's look at some of the things they are making. Roads to connect places. Many villages in Burkina Faso were cut off from towns because of bad roads, dangerous groups, or just being forgotten. The women are building and fixing roads in places like Nongana, Bam, and Zondoma. These roads connect villages to markets, doctors' offices, and schools. For the first time in many years, farmers can sell their crops more easily, and children can get to school without walking through dangerous areas. Some women are even clearing old paths that were left unused because of terrorist threats. Safe places for kids and families. The women are building walls around schools and community centers to keep children safe. They're also building ditches to stop flooding in poor neighborhoods, which can be very dangerous when it rains a lot. In some areas, they're building emergency shelters for families who had to run away from their homes because of fighting. These shelters give people a place to feel safe again. Skills for the future. This work isn't just about building things made of dirt and stone. It's about building people. Local engineers are teaching the women useful skills like how to work with bricks, masonry, how to work with wood, carpentry, and how to measure land, surveying. Young women are learning these jobs, which could become their future careers. Older women are teaching younger ones, passing on their knowledge and helping them become stronger. It's not just about roads or walls. It's about giving women the tools to shape their own futures. Why work for free? You might wonder why anyone would work so hard in the hot sun without getting paid. It's not about money. It's about something much deeper. For these women, it's about getting back at the problems, not with weapons, but by making things better. After many years of outside control, messy governments, and being left alone, they are taking back their country. It's also about honor. They know that no one else will build Burkina Faso for them. France left us. The world forgot us, one woman says, but we didn't forget ourselves. It's also about what they leave behind. These women want their children and grandchildren to grow up in a better country. "If I don't build this school, who will?" asks one volunteer. For them, every shovel of dirt is a step toward a future where their kids can go to school safely, where villages have clean water, and where communities are strong. They're not just building roads, they're building pride. Let's talk about what this means for Burkina Faso's money situation. Building things like roads and schools usually costs a lot of money. Governments often need taxes, loans, or help from other countries to pay for them. But in Burkina Faso, something amazing is happening. Because these women are working for free, the country is saving a huge amount of money, billions of CFA, that's their local money. Roads that would have taken many years to build are going up quickly and cheaply. This means the government can use its money for other important things like more schools, hospitals, and fighting the bad groups. There's more to it. When people see these projects being built, they feel proud. They trust their leaders more because they can see real changes happening. This helps stop corruption because people know exactly where the money and effort are going. It also makes Burkina Faso less dependent on other countries. Instead of asking for help, the country is standing on its own. This is what some people call economic resistance through development. It's a new way of thinking about how to build a nation, and it's working. This whole movement feels very familiar if you know about Burkina Faso's history. In the 1980s, a young leader named Thomas Sankara led the country with a very bold idea. He wanted Burkina Faso to rely on itself, free from outside control. He planted trees to stop the desert from growing. He gave shots to millions of children to keep them healthy. He said no to help that came with unfair rules. And most importantly, he believed in women. He once said, "You cannot make big changes without being a little crazy." That craziness, the courage to dream big, is exactly what we see in these women today. Sankara was killed in 1987, but his ideas never died. Many of the women volunteering today weren't even born when he was alive, but they carry his spirit. Under Captain Ibrahim Traoré, that spirit is coming back to life. Traoré doesn't ask for money from other countries or make promises he can't keep. He asks his people to work together, and they are listening. The women of Burkina Faso are proving that Sankara's dream of a strong, independent country is still alive. This volunteer work only started a few months ago, but the results are truly incredible. Here are some numbers that show what these women have done. Rawn, they built or fixed 350 kilometers of roads, connecting villages to towns. They made 110 schools and clinics safer with new walls and improvements. Thousands of families found new homes in shelters built by these women. All of this was done with no one getting paid. Every single woman is a volunteer. This isn't just building things, it's like a group of regular people defending their country. These women are protecting their country by building it up. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a big part of why this is happening. He's not like leaders who sit in fancy offices and make promises they don't keep. He visits the building sites himself, meeting the women and saying thank you to them. He doesn't offer them money, he offers them respect. At one event, he said this country belongs to its people. Today our mothers, sisters and daughters have shown us that our strength comes from what we give, not what we are given. The government is also helping in other ways. They're giving women tools, safety gear, and even papers that help them own land or start their own small businesses. This means the women can keep building, not just roads but their own futures too. Traoré is telling other parts of the government to do the same, spreading the idea of volunteering all over the country. You might be asking why you haven't heard about this on the news. The truth is, many big news companies in the West don't often cover stories like this. Why? Because it doesn't fit their usual idea of Africa. They often show Africa as a place of big problems, wars or poverty. But the women of Burkina Faso are showing that Africa is also a place of strength, hope, and action. At Africa Vibe News, a news place that wants to tell Africa's real stories, they are shouting this story from the rooftops. They want the world to know that Africa is not just barely surviving, it's truly doing well. This movement isn't just changing Burkina Faso, it's giving hope to other countries too. In Mali, groups of women want to learn how to start their own volunteer projects. In Niger, young people are learning how the women in Burkina Faso got themselves organized. In Guinea, communities are asking for similar projects where people volunteer for their country. This isn't just a movement, it's like a spark that could light up the whole continent. If other African countries follow Burkina Faso's example, the future of Africa could look very different. It could be a future where people build their own countries, relying on their own strength and pride. This movement is also changing what it means to be a woman in West Africa. For a long time, women in Burkina Faso and other places were mostly seen as helpers, cooking, cleaning and raising children while men were in charge. But these 20,000 women are writing a new story. They're not just helpers, they're leaders. They're not just building roads, they're building a new way of being a woman, where women are the ones creating their nation. All over Burkina Faso, people are starting to say, it was the women who saved our country. On the radio, in schools, and even in religious places, the story of these women is being told. They are not victims anymore, they are heroes. They are not waiting for someone to tell them what to do. They are taking action, and they are showing the world that women can be the protectors of their country's future. Burkina Faso has shown us something powerful. Building a nation doesn't just belong to politicians, soldiers, or foreign givers. It belongs to the people. The women of Burkina Faso are proving that you don't need money or power to make a difference. You just need a big heart. They are building their country from the inside out, with pride instead of poverty, and real leadership instead of just wanting things for themselves. Other African countries are watching, and the world should be too. The sound of shovels, songs, and people working together is rising from Burkina Faso's red dirt. It's the sound of a whole continent building itself up, one road, one hand, one woman at a time. This isn't just news, it's history happening now. Burkina Faso has spoken. The question is, will Africa answer, and will you?